Alright guys, hey now. Welcome to Duct Tape and a Butter Knife. On today's adventure, we will be just replacing a couple of valves. A lady got in touch with me and said that her kitchen sink is leaking. She saw a bit of water underneath of her sink. So I went out there and I checked it, and I believe it's just coming from the valve. It's just a really small amount of water, so I'm thinking it's just a valve. I didn't feel anything on the supply lines going up to the faucet, so I think it's just going to be an easy swap of the valves. Later that day or the next day, she also messaged me and said that she saw the same green stuff on her upstairs bathroom faucet, and she sent me a picture and it was on the valve as well. So I bought two valves, and yeah, it should be an easy peasy job.
Railroad crossing.
But I guess we'll find out. I always go into them thinking that they're easy peasy, and it turns into a train wreck. The problem is they are on CPVC, which is pretty easy to snap. So I'm going to have to try to be as careful as I can to not break this. I did warn her that this stuff is a bit prone to snapping, depending on how tight these valves are on. And if the valve snaps, or if the CPVC snaps, it's going to open a whole can of worms. And we went down into her basement and I showed her all the CPVC that was down there, and it goes into old cast iron pipes. So it was changed sometime, she says, as long as she can remember. She thinks sometime in the 80s that it was changed over. So I don't know for sure, but I know it's old. So it's at least 30, 40 years old. Maybe, I don't know. When was CPVC even starting being used? Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know. You know, I'm not a plumber by profession, so I don't know all these little details. So if anybody wants to let me know in the comments when CPVC was used, when it started being used, that'd be great. It's always good. Every day you learn something is a good day, right guys? So anyway, enough chit chat. I will see you guys on site. Okay, so this is what we're looking at, guys. Hopefully you can see this. I may have to take you off of my hat. Alright, let's see if I can break this loose without breaking the pipe. So we get the supply line loose. The water's already been shut off in the basement. All right, there's that. I think I got the wrong valves.
try to grab this. Okay, it's on. And I put the wrong one on. Oh my God. I put the wrong one on. Oh man. I'm a genius. Alright. So I took that one off. That was just really trashy. I didn't want to leave it like that. I'm going to put the correct one on. Get this supply line on nice and tight. Alright, get that on there. Put that little cover back on. And now I'm going to go turn the water on and see what we got. Why isn't this valve turning? Oh, man, that was tight. Alright, here we go. Let's go turn some water on. Alright, water's on. See no leaks. Shut it off now that the line's got pressure in it. We're good to go. Alright, one down. Okay, so you can see these ones have been leaking a bit, but I think it's that one she's talking about. That one's pretty bad. So we'll see what we can do. Okay. First thing we got to do is figure out where the water's coming for that. There's not much, I suppose there is. So we'll have to just cut this off. All right, let's go find the water. Shut that off. Okay, so I have the water off in the basement at the main. The valve is open up top. Valve's also open downstairs, so it's draining all the water out. So hopefully I don't get flooded here. But I'm not going to mess around with trying to get this off, and because this one's glued on. So if I can get my, can't really get any leverage to squeeze this. It's the beauty of working under sinks. Okay, here we go. Alright, so far back out as I can be. There we go. Alright, let's keep that on there. Should be pretty quick and simple. Just don't want to lose this pipe in the wall. Tight. Push this on for all you're worth. So it gets a good bite in there. So it gets a good shark bite. Take this guy off if we can. This thing is nice and corroded too. I didn't look at this. That comes off nice and easy. Beautiful. There we go. See if I can break that loose so it turns on. I should probably replace these supply lines. But I'm trying to save her money. She's a nice lady. So that's on as tight as I dare. Now it's time to go turn the water on and see what we got. Alright, so the water's on, it's pressurized, no leaks. I call that a success, boys. See you on the next one.